Alex. Alex Jones.
Thank you for your service.
He loves that. What's up, Alex?
Nothing. I was on Coast to Coast AM. I have had like 3 hours sleep. The alarm went off.
Yeah. We always get the sleepy version of you.
You always get that's a good dingy one though.
Have you been trying to catch some Z's in your war room over there? I've seen your videos.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Listen. When every movie and every TV show, along with the real government training manual, says the libertarian gun owners are imminently about to do IEDs, and they are going to attack you, and we're going to have to wage war. The enemy is not Al-Qaeda anymore. It is the American people.
Uh-huh.
Now, you wait. They're going to bomb any minute, any minute, any minute. Get ready. What do you do when they attack boys and girls? We give our rights up. That's right. And then it happens, and it's perfectly photo finished. 90% is completely staged. 10% chance that it could be some lone person, but it'll probably be provocateur. And the media was like, oh, my God, how dare Alex Jones come out and say that this could be staged. He's so crazy. Look, he says in his tweet that most of it's FBI provocateur. That's the New York Times. That they go find mentally ill people, and they sit there. I mean, in 1993, the New York Times had a report that the first World Trade Center bombing, they found 2 literally mentally retarded people, who are like...
And they gave them a show, and they went to Boston.
Exactly.
Exactly
what happened.
Alex,
Anyway,
I gotta ask you something though. Here, I got some questions for you. What do you think this is, if it isn't indeed just a random bombing of the parade? What is your idea of what this is? Spell it out for us.
It is a false flag, self-inflicted wound for the giant, grandstanding, huge police state. I mean, if you think the military-industrial complex has like eaten America, like somebody eating a hot dog at a Yankees game, get ready, because they're really going to gobble our ass up now. And even if it is real, even if this is that, rare, real event, because those do happen, this is grandstanding big time. And even if you believe in the war on terror, Obama all week long since they're signing death orders, where sometimes they've killed 200-plus people at a wedding, where there's one bad guy they think they're getting, and they'll drop a 1,000-pound bomb right in the middle of the wedding. And I mean, I've seen the foreign photos and videos. It's never on the news. It looks like a soup of sloppy joes, and you're not going to hear little such and such. She was 3 years old. Her whole future till she was blown in half by shrapnel. Obama's like,
I'll agree with that.
There's bombs and innocents being targeted.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree with you on that one. I'm also going to agree with you on the fact that I'm not sure, and I doubt the fact that the government is so involved in random bombings around this country. But I will admit to the believing that I think they use anything that happens to gain more power for themselves and to take liberties away from the American people. That I absolutely do agree with.
So that's all I'm saying. And there's this incredible spin machine, going on immediately going, you don't care about the 3 people that died and the 1,000 unless you completely bend over and ask Homeland Security to drive a bus up your ass. I mean, this is what's going on, and I personally can just see it coming from a mile away. But listen, I turn on any show, Hawaii Five-0, the new generation of Minions or whatever it's called, and you turn it on, and it's like this episode, this Grenoble veteran shooting cops. Can McGarrett stop him? I turn to the next show. Oh, this is the following top psychopaths. Who do they love hiring? Who are the worst people of this class of killers?
Yeah.
We're not just psychopathic killers. We're constitutionalist extremists. And all the psychos, oh, my God.
Well, that is true. I think the mainstream media, TV shows, news, are painting patriots and people that want the Constitution adhered to as some type of crazy, rebellious murderers.
But, Alex, you talk a lot about the civil liberties being taken away. And in some cases, I'm right. You're right. But like with the TSA, I understand they can be irritating, but I find this hatred of the TSA almost irrational because I deal with them a lot because I travel so frequently, and they're annoying. But do you not want anybody frisked when they go on a plane? Like, what is the alternative?
They're doing a job. I think they should all drag our children off into a private room.
No, I'm not saying that there's not. I agree.
Guys, I think potbelly guys, little tiny, creepy mustaches with twinkly eyes. I think my wife is there for them too. Well, this is what they. No. Listen, I've had so many TSA people go, "Hey, can I have an autograph?" and bash the hell out of them.
Sure.
Or, hey man, we're not all bad. And then like, I've actually seen things at the airport where they're like, "Hey, go ahead and go on through." Just all sorts of stories like that. So I'm aware of things. I had Shooter Jennings, Waylon Jennings, shut in studio like a week ago, and off air he talked about it. Plus we taped something we're going to air next week, and he talked about how he'd been out on a cruise ship. Somebody gave him a joint. He didn't even think about it, and then he came through customs, was flying back home, and he pulls out stuff out of his pocket, and there's a joint, and he drops it on the ground. Like thinking, oh my God, and the TSA guy goes, you can go on through now, and like picks up the joint and basically hands it back to him. So I get that some of them aren't bad, but I'll bet there were like nice guards, like some guards that were like at Dachau and Auschwitz.
But
listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to shoot you in the head to that's my job.
No, Alex, but I'm asking you, I understand that, and I know that there's pricks who work for the TSA. There's like some of them like mall security cops. They go way too far in their rate. I understand that, but I'm talking about the general attitude where people are like, the fucking TSA, they're taking our rights.
You would like a transvestite to do your
transsexual. Transvestite's a guy in a dress. I don't go for that. A transsexual is a much better egg.
Okay.
But I'm saying, how does that remove our civil liberties?
You know what? I don't know why they're saying right-wingers probably did this. Why aren't they saying, hey, it could be the government or elements they stand to gain or defense contractors that want to sell $15 million of robots to every city, which is now happening, or some foreign corporation that was like doing something. It could be a lone mental patient, but listen, here's an example. Thank you for your service. I actually can't do the voice right now because I'm so tired.
It still sounds like him. I still want to know how the TSA robs of our civil liberties, though.
A fighter.
Fighter. Curious.
Here, for me, I love Jeff. He's such a good guy. Hold on, can you do it?
What? A fighter.
There you go.
A governor. I've seen things that'll blow your mind.
That's it.
There it is.
Listen, all I can say is, if you think you've had your freedoms gang rape so far, get ready. But take the Holmes guy from the Aurora attack, who was getting like $30,000 a year in a DARPA program. By the way, the Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber, look it up. He was in MK Ultra. That got declassified. But it's like, never mind that the Unabomber was in an admitted CIA mind control program from the 1960s. Just forget that. It's not even a part of it. James Holmes was not a Navy SEAL, was not a fighter. But what he was somebody in the DARPA program with a Air Force top psychiatrist over him. Everybody knew what he was planning, and they've now ignored all that. And now they're saying, oh, we're drugging him for the trial to make him tell the truth. Listen, my dad's a dentist. I could come to your house and give you a Halcyon, the right milligram strength, and I could...
Let's make a time.
And pull your teeth out with pliers, buddy.
Ooh.
And you wouldn't even remember any of it. And if I told you, if I strangled a kid and then woke any of you guys up and said you did it, you would go on the stand and believe you did it. Okay, so they're now putting him on truth serum. It's not really truth serum. It makes you say whatever the hell they.
Alex, now you're talking mind control.
Hold on.
So hold on.
My huggy bear.
So Alex, you think that James Holmes? What was the last? Let me ask you honestly. What's the last event that happened? Because you think, like, you believe in a conspiracy for 9/11, and what's the last event that happened that you just take at face value and think did just happen as the act of a random nut or whatever, like without any government nonsense or direct? Yeah. What's the last one you think was happened?
I know an event that had all the evidence of being random, and all the evidence of a motive. And it was Joe Stack who flew his plane into the IRS building here in Austin, Texas.
Right. I remember that one.
And they took his house, and he didn't really owe the money. They were harassing him, and they burned his house down and flew his private plane. He said, "Here, you want all my possessions? Take it with interest." So that was a real event. But listen, all I'm saying is everyone has to get ready because they're planning to implode the economy. They're already taking people's bank accounts in Europe, and I mean, my God. The training manuals that are coming out are like, veterans will attack your police station. Everyone will be hit by IEDs. Every city needs, these $5 million a piece robots. You will be attacked for something that, is like so rare.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, people die by the thousands every year from falling in bathtubs. And now it's like they're going to take each child or each person that was killed and build. And again, I feel sorry for them, but it's like they're going to build statues and they're going to like dangle them in front of me. And then I knew the minute it happened, and it's now all over the news. They're like Al Qaeda, right wing.
Yeah,
Al-Qaeda,
yeah.
Libertarian.
But Alex, what's the end game though? What's the end game here? What are they? What's the goal of this government entity?
Well, the United States is the world empire. The United States has all the money, still has all the power, has a lot of the ideas. We're a great country. And these corporate interests that aren't free market, they already conquered the world using our muscle, or most of it.
Yeah.
And the goal is the establishment wants us all living under a 1021 on record is totally poor and bankrupt, while they are Kim Jong-un up in the 7-story pleasure palace with all the transsexuals. So the plan is they're off, doing all their weird decadent crap, ruling over us. And we can't go in a McDonald's without a proctology exam, with this giant government make-work project. I mean, FDR built dams. Our government's going to tear dams down, turn off power plants, and the make-work is going to be training you to line up and get on the cattle cars. This is all slave training.
All right, but
going on.
I have a question. Honestly, want to know. And I mean, it's a simple question, but it's been a very big point for guys who are very anti-government. And I'll say it again. I know the TSA is unpleasant at times, but how? But I really mean this. How have they taken our civil liberties in that situation?
Thank you for your service.
No, but I'm honestly curious because people really hate them, and in some ways I get it.
You're right. Listen, it's good that the borders are basically wide open every time.
Absolutely, you're right. The borders should be closed.
Every time the senators go down there and go, look, we've secured the border. There's like illegals just pouring over it, and my whole issue is
great point.
It'd be great to have the illegal aliens here. If they weren't given welfare and all this other crap, and a lot of them are really hard-working, great people, by the way.
I think you answered it perfectly for you, Jimmy. Hey,
by the way, you are right. I agree. The borders should be closed. Yeah. And I think I'm only curious because the borders are open does not mean that the TSA has violated our civil liberties. I'm only curious as to how the TSA is a violation of our civil liberties or what they're doing.
I don't think there's any way to have our civil liberties violated. I think they should all drop us into boiling vats of peanut oil at the airport. Just to make sure there's not let me tell you why. It's going to make sense. To make sure there's not explosives in our testicles.
All right, listen.
And then the boiling peanut oil will neutralize the explosives.
Okay. All right, listen. Someone in Boston wants in badly. It's Lindsay. You're on with Alex Jones.
Lindsay.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I just want to tell you that this whole thing is fucking bullshit. My friend Jeff Bowman is lying in the hospital with his legs missing, and all you conspiracy theorist douchebags are going around trying to say that he's a wounded soldier that lost his legs in Afghanistan. It's fucking bullshit. And you're
let me stop you, ma'am. Ma'am, stuff is not all just black and white. So did you ever think that the White House regulations Cass Sunstein wrote not one but two papers at Harvard and Chicago Business the year before he was made.
I don't give a shit what happened.
You don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because I know
because you're into the emotion of it right now. Ma'am, I'm telling you, blood-drinking Easter bunnies are coming for you. Okay, no. Seriously, ma'am. I understand it's about feeling good and feeling validated.
You're saying.
I know, I'm bad. I understand. I'm bad. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
You are. There's people
You're good, though.
dying.
You're good, though.
Yeah,
Hey, ma'am, do you
I am. I'm a human being, and I have compassion for people.
Take all your vaccines.
Oh, here.
Hey, can I just say something to her, please?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Listen, they're going to have schizophrenics, and I get this. You know, the real question is, what's conspiracy, what isn't, what has red flags, what doesn't. There are crazy people that think I am Bill Hicks, okay? I mean, let's get something straight. He was a very funny guy, a great guy, anti-gun. I'm not Bill Hicks, okay? There are people that think everything is actors and everything is fake. I think Sandy Hook happened. I think Aurora happened. There were some people on the news that acted very coached.
So why don't you comment on the people that are saying that my friend Jeff Bowman, who's lying in the hospital with his legs
I know you're very excited at your friend.
is an injured Afghanistan vet. Why don't you comment on that? Why don't you put that?
Well, ma'am, number one.
Why don't you put it to rest?
Ma'am, your lordship.
Yeah.
Have you been to Infowars.com?
No, I don't need to go to Infowars.com. I know the person personally. Why don't you comment on what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Maybe I'll think you're a good human being if you have a shred of decency to dispel the rumor.
Ma'am. What I'm telling you is, I'm saying the New York Times reported that the FBI has a history of finding mentally ill and unstable people, whether they be left-wing, right-wing, or Muslim, or whatever the case is, and they call it winding them up, giving them everything, being their commander, giving them money, saying the getaway car will be waiting for you and we'll fly you out, to the virgins with mustaches or whatever. So what I'm saying is they have a motive to get power and control out of it. So I'm saying we should give up our liberties, and we should look at all groups doing it, but also criminal elements in government or foreign corporations, because they have a history of doing this sometimes.
But she's asking you to address one subject, Alex. She's asking you to address one question, though. That's all. She's asking you to address just that particular part.
Apparently, if I could get here, this girl has a friend that was injured and lost legs in the bombing, and I guess
the picture we've all seen in the wheelchair.
Some conspiracy theorists are saying that was a vet that lost his legs in combat and is being used as a prop. Is that what's going on?
Miss, you mean that famous picture of the guy with the wheelchair, right, missing both legs in the wheelchair?
Exactly.
That's your friend?
All
right, I'm sorry.
I went to Chelmsford High School with that person. His name is Jeff Bowman.
Yeah.
Both my sister and I attended high school with him. We know him. And he's lying in a hospital bed, and all these people are reposting that picture, saying what a piece of shit he is and this and that, and saying that he's a wounded veteran, and he's not.
Yeah.
And just let me preface this. My ex-husband is a veteran, so I have much respect for veterans, and I have a lot of respect for the people that have either lost their lives in service and also have been victims of terroristic activities. And it really makes me mad and upset, especially having this hit so close to home, that people are using my friend as a fucking prop.
And they are. I've seen the picture.
Please, for God's sake.
Alex, coming.
What I'm trying to get at, ma'am, is this is the Internet. There are 7.5 billion people. 3 or 4 billion of them are online. People are going to say that the photo of your friend is real.
Lots of them follow you, and all you have to do is say that it's not true. That's all you have to do. You have plenty of information. No, you don't need to stop me because you're wrong.
Oh, well, you're not listening.
Say that you're wrong.
Listen. I understand. Listen, I have a tendency when a woman's kind of whining at me and not listening to kind of leave the room. Look, ma'am, let me just calmly tell you something. The Internet is billions of people. I cannot keep track of every cockamamie conspiracy theory going on the Internet and sit there and debunk them. I just told you.
All right, Alex, but do you believe what she's saying to be the truth?
She sounds like she's being very truthful.
Do you believe what she's saying to be the truth? That's her friend and she knows him.
Absolutely. I'm not aware of what she's talking about, but I'm sure it's true because they lied to us about WMDs.
Wait, you
They lied. They lied to us about so many other things that now a large portion of people don't believe anything is real.
Okay.
You know, if they take a crap in the toilet, they look in there and think it's a space alien.
Right.
I get that, and I'm sorry, and I'm sure your friend did get his legs blown off. And I personally am sick of people attributing to me all of the wild conspiracy theories that are out there. So, yes, ma'am.
Well, you should go on Instagram and look up the hashtag Alex Jones for president.
I don't have a damn Instagram.
Well, then
lady.
you know what? You should figure it out because there's a lot of people that are voting you for president.
It's my fault because I have government documents.
No, but you have a personal responsibility as a public figure that has lots of followers.
No, I disagree, sweetheart.
I don't agree with that. I mean,
he addressed it. Alex addressed it. And
I mean,
he said that
he
believes
can't
you.
be held responsible for every lunatic that's online posting things that aren't true. It's not his job to police the internet for lunatics. I mean, obviously, I believe you 100% that your friend lost his legs in a bombing in front of the marathon. But I mean, look, Alex Jones sounds a little kooky, but I'm not going to make him the police for all lunatics online.
And you asked him to address it.
I do recant that. I'm sorry. I do agree with that. You're right. He can't be responsible for everything, but it is really heartbreaking and it's really upsetting.
Well, more importantly, Lindsay, more importantly, how is your friend doing? Is it life-threatening? Is he going to be all right? What's going on?
He is going to be okay. He's expected to recover. There's going to be a candlelight vigil in Chelmsford tonight to commemorate, all of the victims that were injured. I do have other friends.
Let me bring this up, ma'am. I'm sorry for your friend, and I want stuff like this to stop. But when the Gardasil tests were going on in 2006. A bunch of people died in the trials, and I had medical doctors on and tried to warn people. And I had the mothers on whose daughters took the shot and died. And then they went ahead and approved it, and now they're having to do settlements admitting it killed a bunch of people. But no one wants to have vigils. No one cares. No one cares about the UN polio program vaccine that just paralyzed 67,000 kids. No one wants to have a vigil when a 1,000-pound bomb kills 200 innocent people, and they call it collateral damage. Do you get that people only get emotional when the mainstream media says, now it's time to get emotional?
You're not wrong
that's
about
where
that.
I do agree with that point,
Yeah,
Alex.
fair enough. That's a good point.
You're absolutely right.
But you still, the
There's
thing
horrific
here
shit going on every day.
is I would love to know in what way, shape, or form the annoying, yes, but how have the TSA... how is that an infringement upon our civil liberties, which has, and I'm not saying you personally, Alex.
Norton, I think you enjoy it.
No, but I'm asking for real. Because the problem I have with conspiracy guys is a lot of you guys are really smart, and you raise some great points and some great arguments, and I'm agreeing with some of what you're saying right now. But there are certain very basic, simple questions that instead of just saying, like, yeah, the TSA has become the popular hate rally point, but they really aren't that. They're annoying as individuals, but as an organization, it's not this big civil liberties violation. And I would like to know if you think they are, how they are.
All right, well, here's an example. I was flying a few months ago, and my buddy was talking to me because they were doing a little, making me wait before they came over to make sure Bin Laden wasn't in my underwear.
Okay.
And I had my boot, like, maybe an inch over the line because I've been sitting there about 3 minutes waiting. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll see you over there. Okay, get coffee. All right. Get over the line. Hey, I'm like, hey, buddy, how about you say please? I didn't sign up, for drill sergeant in the Marine Corps. And again, where I live in Austin, Texas, they now have TSA on the frickin' highways. Just type TSA in downtown Austin. They now have, I went to the Kite Festival with my kids.
That's really racist.
And Kite Festival, exactly. And I went out there, and they had National Guard searching people. But again, real bombers are going to bomb you. They had 400 National Guard, thousands of police, checkpoints everywhere, and this happened. Here's the news flash.
But the TSA at the airports, I mean.
Get emotional, get into, oh, my God, we got hit. Oh, my God, 3 people are dead. Oh, my God. Meanwhile, the empire, is killing millions everywhere.
What do you mean, oh, my God? What do you mean, oh, my God, 3 people are dead? That's 3 people.
Man, I'm not even talking about you. Listen.
You just, okay.
Listen, honey, I work all day hard, and then I come home to this crap. Why don't you get in the kitchen and make me a damn steak?
Holy
anyway,
shit.
back to what I was... Shut up. Don't take your Prozac.
You shut up. You're a fucking piece of
Listen,
shit. You're a sexist piece of shit. I have more fucking authority in my finger than you have in your entire fucking body.
You call into this show to emotionally offload on me and blame me for what
I'm not
retards are
offloading
doing
on anybody. I think you're a
Instagram.
piece of shit.
Listen, woman.
This
Listen.
is bullshit.
I'm a
When my
Navy
fucking
SEAL
friend's in the
fighter.
hospital. How about this?
Shut up, Pinhead. Shut up, Pinhead.
You can't deny he's not entertaining.
I have had enough of you offloading your crap on me, woman.
Really? Then take some fucking responsibility for the
Infowars.com,
shit that comes
T-Brain.
out of your mouth. No. I'm not
Follow
going
me
to
at
the
Real
fucking
Alex
point. You're an
Jones.
idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Real
You're going to take
Alex
everything you
Jones,
got. Hey,
Alex Jones
T-Brain.
for president.
Hey, T-Brain, I bet you take a lot of vaccines, don't you?
9/11
Dying of
didn't
cancer? Go
happen.
roll your sleeve up, son. Go take some shots for me, baby. You know the government loves you. They're going to take real good care of you because they care about the kids. It's so obvious. They're all real sad about the kids, even though our own government does thousands of tests,
but I sure
medical tests, killing foster children, radiating little kids to death, and injecting black men with syphilis, and injecting little kids overseas with live polio.
Oh, yeah, they did that.
Being killed.
Oh,
but our government would never do anything wrong.
You say, I
That's
hope
right.
to
Take
God
all
they
your
inject
shots.
you.
See, that's where he's right. That's what confused me about Alex
They
Jones.
never did secret medical experiments. Everything's fine. Give your rights up. You know it's a homegrown person. You know it's a gun owner that did
Why haven't
this.
they shut
And
you
don't
up
worry,
yet?
Homeland
Why haven't they
Security
shut
will
you
deal
up
with
yet?
them. Don't worry, you can associate your personal power with a big.
Why haven't they
big
shut
government.
you up yet?
Don't worry.
I'm
Don't
dying
worry.
to know why they
Everything's
haven't
gonna
shut you up.
fine.
Why they haven't
Everything's
shut you
gonna
up
be
yet?
so good for you.
Alex, that's a fair
yeah.
question she asked. Alex, she asked you a fair question. You're a guy who's very, very vocal, and you talk about a lot of these things. And if they can orchestrate something like 9/11, or they can orchestrate any of the other things that they may or may not have, why haven't they silenced you?
Well, that's the oldest question, isn't it?
It's a fair question, but it is a fair
We've asked
question.
it in the past.
It's a fair question.
Yeah.
But maybe still or no. Now listen, let's get serious about this. Number one, I've grown slowly over the years, and people can also say, oh, you know, that's bull. They try to assassinate my character. They try to assassinate my name. They try to say that I've done things that aren't true. If they physically kill me, it will highlight everything I've said. It will underscore it, put 100 exclamation points behind it. They'd rather do what the White House regulations said they would do, put out fake conspiracy theories so outlandish it outrages pea-brains.
Or they could just put you at the Boston Marathon and have a bomb blow up and kill you, just like they tried to kill
sorry,
my friend,
ma'am.
right?
I'm not really
Yeah,
into
exactly.
marathons.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, if the government wanted you gone, you'd be gone. But they think you're so fucking crazy and such a lunatic that they don't give a shit about you.
Ma'am, let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. When I go to a family reunion...
You're not being honest this entire time. You like to dance around shit and fucking not answer questions.
Ma'am, I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I grew up
Good
in
for
Dallas,
you. Do you
Texas.
want a medal?
No, let me tell you a story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family. Let me just say something. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family doing things like helping take in East German defectors, okay? Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
What?
And do you know what they tell me?
What?
They tell me I'm dead on, 100% absolutely
There you
right
go.
about what I'm covering.
Senile people are telling you there's government conspiracy. Wow, way to get good fucking information, bro. That's cool.
No, there's a lot of good people who've been in and out of the government who aren't naive.
I'm sure,
And
I'm
did you
sure,
know
and
it's
they're all related to you,
declassified
buddy.
that the majority of drugs are brought in by the government? Did you know that, Walnut Brain?
Majority of the drugs brought in by the government.
Alex, I got a question for you, for real. I've been looking at my Twitter a little bit, and someone says you got to explain the have Alex Jones explain the Family Guy conspiracy about Boston, and the guy writes it's good.
Okay, I really want to do that, but I rolled out of bed. I'm going to be honest. Can I take a crap?
Okay, go.
Sure.
And I also
That's what
want
you've been doing.
And I also want to ask you about Bill Hicks, too, because I was a huge Bill Hicks fan, and you know, it was a bit strange that he died so young with all the shit he was saying. You got anything on that one?
He also parked pretty damn hard. That's all I'm going to say. I've been told stories about him and Kim.
Yeah.
That's the government messing with his phone.
All right, listen. Yeah, they're messing with your phone just as you're about to talk about Bill Hicks.
I'd like to tell you the thing about the Family Guy. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I apologize that I'm on this cell phone. My parents are right by my office. I live out in the country, like a 45-minute drive. So I didn't get home till 5 a.m. Slept 2 hours, and that's why I'm actually wrapped up in a blanket. Standing outside so my cell phone works. Let me tell you the Family Guy conspiracy. Okay.
Here's the Family Guy conspiracy. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. My writer Paul Watson saw hundreds of
Your
blogs.
writer? You have a writer? Your writer helps you with all your conspiracy theories? Is this where
Yes,
you come
I have
up
a
with all these great
babysitter, too.
ideas?
Yes, I have. Hold on. Close the teleprompter, Bob.
Sorry.
I have my next point.
You explain your fucking fucked up Boston Marathon
God, man,
Family
you
Guy
just blew my whole
conspiracy.
cover. How the hell did you do that?
I don't know.
How
I'm
the
only
hell
28.
did you just do that?
Smart. I don't know.
Oh my God, you just blew my whole cover. Oh my God, now they know.
No, you blew your own cover. Oh, is that
Guys,
a government
write for
conspiracy?
me. Guys, write for me.
Oh,
What do I
boy.
say? My God, the teleprompter broke. It's like I'm Obama.
Your fucking
All right.
Boston Marathon
I don't know what to
Family
say.
Guy.
I'm not a real action.
All right, listen, Lindsay, you're killing. But
We love you.
Yeah, let him just do
Let
the
him explain.
I want to hear the
this
Family Guy
thing.
conspiracy.
I want to go out with Lindsay.
Okay. Hi, Jimmy. I love you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Oh, send a picture for Jim Norton.
What a nightmare girlfriend, though, arguing with her.
Wow, right? This is a fucking preview of what you'd have to deal with.
Yeah.
You lose every time, but it's okay. I'd still do things to you.
Well, good trade-off for Jim Norton.
Hey.
All right, go ahead, Alex.
Like a raging bull when I said, get in there and cook me a steak, lady.
By the way, Tom Papa checking in. He thinks we're talking to Ron White.
All right,
go ahead.
I want to hear this. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, well, I have the news sites, one of the biggest ones out there in alternative media, ma'am, Infowars.com, another gratuitous crass plug there for the Infowar. and yes, I have about, 15 writers or so, about 8 of them on salary. But the point is, Paul Joseph Watson, my writer, saw all these blogs and blurbs with a 15-second clip of the Family Guy that aired on March 17th, titled, I think it was Turbaned Cowboy, where the Tea Party starts working with Al-Qaeda. Gee, that never really happened in the real world, but that's part of every show demonizing it, and I mean every frickin' show that's fiction. So he writes the article, and he went to the Fox website, saw the original episode. It's definitely was a real episode. He didn't take it. The people that had the video online took the 2 clips of one where it shows him running over or driving away from piles of bloody people at the Boston Marathon, and then they say, "How did you do it?" And he holds up his cell phone and detonates it not once but twice with a bomb. And so that's 2 bombs is how he won the Boston Marathon, and it shows blood all over the ground. And so we said, man, people are pointing this out, that it predicted it, that somebody basically copycat off of this show. And then the maker of it came out and said, this is outrageous that we did this. And the L.A. Times, everybody said that we made up a hoax about this, and they're erasing it off TiVo, and in some areas now saying it never existed. First, it was that we edited it together, which we just showed the 2 scenes back to back. Now it's that it doesn't even exist, and it's a hoax. So, and that we're hurting the families. When I thought he made the episode about people being bombed in a comedy at the marathon. So that is the incredible mind control level of all of this, when all we do is report on some internet meme, confirm it was a real episode, confirm it was a real show, and then they're sitting there freaking out about it. It's just simply amazing.
But I heard it was 2 episodes or so that were cobbled together to make it look that way.
No, it's from the same episode.
That was one episode where he's talking about the Boston Marathon and sets off 2 explosions.
Yeah, we played the short clip yesterday.
Bob Costas said to him, how did you win the Boston Marathon?
Uh-oh, it's the government. The government's cutting out a cell phone.
No, ma'am. No, you know what? You're right. The government loves you. Like I said, ma'am. And, the Harvard study
I never
admits
said the government loves me, but I don't cry about the government as much as
sodium
you
chloride is lowering IQs, and you're an example. So drink deep, drink well, drink good, My little sweetie.
Drink up, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to know, but there's one thing that she mentioned, and that was, like, again, but I do want to know, because I'm a direct question guy, and this is why conspiracy theorists don't like me. And I'm asking, what is, like, again, you raised some good points about individuals in the TSA and the airports who are unpleasant guys, and I don't disagree with you. But I'm talking about as a whole, there are so many people that scream about the TSA and fuck the TSA and illegal search and seizure. So I'm saying is, what is, if the TSA is wrong, what is the alternative to the TSA?
Alternative is, as Jesse Kura has said.
The government's not letting him answer, Jimmy.
Oh, man.
No, can you hear me now?
Now,
Yeah, we got you back.
No, I was running the house. Hold on. Listen, let me just tell you the alternative. The alternative is to get back to the Fourth Amendment, because you see how, we've got to grope you and take you in a private room and put you in an X-ray machine and backscatter machine and do all this because terrorists hit the airports. Now they hit the Boston Marathon. Now we're going to have troops on the streets and grope you there. And still, a bomber.
That's right. We're going to have to keep
people
people from running. Everybody needs to stop
running. A bomber would just go. Shut up, Jesus Christ! I pay to not have a woman sitting there nagging me. Jesus, I bet you don't have a boyfriend, do you?
I actually have a husband. I'm married. Actually, I'm married and happily married at that.
Oh my God!
I still love you, Jimmy. Though, seriously.
You did say you were divorced, though.
No, that was my ex-husband. I'm married again, but I still love you.
A new person to torture.
Okay.
My point is
That's right, motherfucker. He wasn't man enough to handle me, so I left that.
That's right. You're bragging how you dominate and ruin men. More vaccines.
More vaccines.
Look, you've driven Norton
I'm honest
to
about it, right?
transsexuals.
Holy shit.
Should we let Lindsay go?
Yeah.
Lindsay, you're terrific. Thank you.
Lindsay,
thanks so
thank you,
much.
and all the best to your friend, okay?
Yeah, wish your friend luck.
All right.
All right, thanks.
All right, Lindsay from
Hey, wait, we should have got her
Massachusetts.
information off the, she went to school with the guys.
Oh, well, we got her on hold. Alex,
Lindsay.
all right. Sorry about that. That was, you know how radio goes. That was way too entertaining to blow off.
No, I didn't enjoy talking to her. I'm awake now, though.
Yeah.
I called you guys like laying in the bed.
That'll wake you
Now,
up.
again, you're talking about things outside the airport, and I don't disagree that, hey, they may want to use this to make that. I'm only talking about, and I'm asking you specifically for a reason. I'm not trying to break your balls. I'm asking for real. The airport has been the point of contention for a lot of anti-government or conspiracy guys. It has been a rallying point. Is this fucking airport security? And I think it's a phony rebellion and a phony form of being a maverick. So I'm asking, how does that violate us? Would you prefer that there was no security in the airports?
No, you're right. You've taught us. It's all a phony.
No,
rebellion,
it's
right?
when I say phony, I mean not phony as in you're liars. I mean phony as in when I mumble a curse under my breath that I know my mom won't hear. I don't mean phony like it's a conspiracy. I mean it's a silly rebellion. It doesn't do anything. So would you prefer? What's the alternative to the TSA for airports?
They're taking a lot of the body scanners out. They're backing off when they're groping. The TSA is prisoner compliance training to train you that you're a perpetrator and you have no rights and you're guilty until the government has enslaved you.
All right, that's an answer.
But it's not.
It's a prelude to, it's training people to walk through things, to step on this line, to not cross that line. And then the next step will be...
That's the same training you get when you show up at prison.
But airport security, hold on, airport security, so okay. So if that's the answer, what is the alternative? What option would you have to protect people on planes, or do you rather not want security?
As Jesse Ventura said, I'd rather face the danger.
Okay, that's the answer. You would prefer to have no security on planes, and Jesse Ventura. Okay, fair enough.
I'd love to put good-looking stewardesses
fair enough.
back in.
I accept that.
Cars to be really awesome again.
Well, look at all the security measures they put in place after 9/11. Like, we can't even go in and out of buildings anymore without, showing ID and having badges and going through this thing and that thing.
And attacks have been minimal. It kind of helped.
But this is
Our government, you know what? Listen, it's now all over the news that our government's putting real Al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria, just murdering and taking over. People go, yeah, we have them kill each other. No bull. Our government has given them 10,000 heat-seeking missiles out of Libya, so they can now tell the it's so dumb. Oh, you got to give your rights up. Al-Qaeda's got missiles now.
Good to know America's still in control. in the world.
Exactly. I mean, listen, type in military growing opium in Afghanistan. About 5 years ago, it was coming out. The troops were mad about growing opium.
Right.
Opium production went from 9% worldwide to 93% out of Afghanistan. And so what did the Pentagon do? They had Fox, CNN, BBC, ABC, pull all these up, all come on the same week and go, yes, the troops helped grow the opium. We load it on C-130s. If we catch you using it in America, we're going to put your ass in jail. So they just hit it in plain view. They go, okay, kids, yes, you're so dumb you can't even get the contradiction, America, they said. We're going to admit we grow the opium over here so Al-Qaeda doesn't get it. We have to control the drug trade, or it's complicated, because if we don't grow it and ship it in, Al-Qaeda will get it. How about you decriminalize the crap? Oh, you don't want that, government, because that's how you brought down China and broke it up colonially, was they were dumb enough to make opium illegal. And so you were able in 50 years to take over through corruption and take over the police and then bring down China. The drug war is meant to bring down Europe, bring down America, make everybody a suspect. Now they're moving on to everybody's a terrorist. Now they're saying the people that talk about liberty and want guns and think we shouldn't be able to take money out of your bank account for no reason, they're going to blow stuff up.
I agree with him on that one. Boy, the villainization of Americans that want to adhere to the Constitution, want to bear arms, their right to bear arms, and keep their civil liberties, are now the bad guys in this country that are portrayed in everything from commercials to movies to the mainstream media news as the bad guys. I agree with you on that.
And the Pillsbury Doughboy is now being groped and like enjoying it with a little pervert noises.
But do you believe that we caused the event so we can push our agenda through? I believe shit happens and then the government goes, "Oh, this is great. We can now push some of our agenda through."
I believe they.
Well,
is the government actually causing the event that allows them to push the agenda through? That's the question.
Well, they've been caught like doing Gulf of Tonkin to get us to Vietnam and so many other issues. So, I mean, listen, here's all I'm begging people to understand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to build things and compete anymore. Special interests can stage stuff, provocateur a few events, grandstand and script it, and then get us to collectively have a guilt like we're all terrorists and this country's being converted into a giant prison from the beautiful, wonderful nation it is. We're getting away from the Bill of Rights and Constitution. And again, they've got Geico commercials with the Pillsbury Doughboy begs to be groped by the TSA in some subconscious pedophile thing. I mean, this is all out of control, folks. This isn't what freedom looks like.
Mm-hmm. All right, Alex, because we got to wrap up. Walk us through what's going to happen now with the Boston Marathon bombing. Are we going to catch a suspect, and what does that mean?
I mean, regardless of if it was lone wolf, which does happen sometimes, it's very rare, or it could be like the Olympic Park bombing. They'll try to frame 2 or 3 patsies like Richard Jewell before they find the next patsy. Eric Rudolph. I mean, who knows what's true? The government ran the anthrax attack. That later came out. They killed the 3rd patsy. They made.
I don't remember that.
So all this is going on. They're already now saying it's the culture of the right winger, and they're all over the news going, who's worse than Al Qaeda? Yeah, Janet was right. Napolitano said it'd be the libertarians. Those bastards. They hit us again. And so they're building up. The whole thing's scripted. You can just see the scripting. They're building it up and drawing it out like an Agatha Christie of like, oh, everybody's a suspect, especially the white males, but never the government that historically...
Okay, all right, Alex, we understand that because you've made that point so many times. But how is this going to now play out? What is going to be presented to us in the next coming days? That's all I want to know.
Sure, I apologize. I'm digging here.
No worries. But, I mean, you've been...
Let me tell you how it's going to play out.
All right.
They're going to announce that, well, we're going to have TSA certify. This has already begun. Your locals, that they wave a magic wand where they can now violate your Fourth Amendment and grope you. They're going to have the military. They've already announced at events, not just Kentucky Derby and big events like that. They've already done that at the beta test of the Super Bowl. The military is going to be absolutely everywhere.
More searches.
And you're going to learn to just have your bags searched. It won't matter if you pull into a parking lot and you're going into a electronics store and there's 2 Army guys there. or there's two goons there, and you're like, anybody could drive in this parking lot. I could walk up and do something. And if you say that, they're going to throw you down, put you in handcuffs.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying, too. This is, if they just out of nowhere, let's say it's 1955, leave it to beaver kind of atmosphere in the country, and a police or a military personnel walked up to you and said, I'm going to check your bag. People would go like, get the fuck out of here. I have the right to. But we're being lulled into this sense that we are all potential perpetrators, so that we're giving up our rights under this guise that it is for our own good and our own safety. And the only way to do that is to slowly and progressively train us through using tragedy to victimize and make us guilty, so that we will open our bags voluntarily. But we'll give up our videotapes. We'll give up pictures and our cameras and everything.
I disagree, though. I think in 1955, people are much more cynical now. I think in 1955, it might have been odd to hear, but if a cop goes, hey, I need to check you, I think a guy would go, well, go right ahead. I haven't done anything wrong. I think back then, there was an omnipotent view of the government. I think now, after Kennedy's assassination, people are much more cynical now than they've ever been, and less trusting.
What administration did this start in, and is every administration involved in this?
Well, Kennedy said no to a plan called Operation Northwood to shut out, and this is declassified. This is ABC News. You can read the thing at the National Security Archive online. Type in Operation Northwood. They called for a plan. The Joint Chiefs green-lighted this. This isn't just like a plan. This was a green-lighted operation. He said no to L.L. Lemnitzer, and that was the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman. They were going to bomb D.C., bomb Miami with plastic explosives at public places. We've seen that before. It even described how to frame the patsies, but first build up for a week or so, all the tension of who did it, and how to commit mass shootings to then blame Cuba and the Soviets to have World War III. Mm-hmm. And that's when Kennedy, this is all on record, sent an internal cable to Khrushchev and said, you listen to me and you listen good. This is on record. He said, they're going to kill, there's going to be a coup, and they're going to nuke your ass. And General LeMay of the Air Force has got the frickin' nukes loaded right now. We got 10-to-1 superiority on you. You better back down right now. These people are not fucking playing games. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's all what happened on record. Operation Northwoods, and Kennedy said no. So then he tried to abolish the Federal Reserve. He signed the executive order to do it. He signed the executive order to pull the troops out of Vietnam. They were already there as advisors. Over 50,000 of them, and they blew his head off in front of everybody and said, oh, a lone nut did it. A lone guy. It's the same story over and over again. But you're absolutely right with whether it's staged or not. This is the acclamation for prison training. And yes, in the 50s, people would have said yes for a little bit or in a specific area. Right. But if they tried this all at once, they would have said no. Plus, right. The police do what authoritarianism. I've seen the training films for our military in the 50s, and it was like, in authoritarian countries, everyone's a suspect. You can watch these films online. In authoritarian countries, people spy on you. In authoritarian countries, when you go to a public place, your bags are searched. Not in America. I mean, a cop, if they said go search people randomly at the park, would say, well, who's the suspect? What's the reason? What's the probable cause?
Yeah, that was my point, too, right.
They wouldn't say, oh, yeah, let's just randomly walk into a shopping mall and just walk up to some old lady indiscriminately and stick our hands down our pants to see if bin Laden's hiding. I mean,
it just wouldn't be done. Folks. Yeah.
All right.
I agree with you, Alex, on that take. A few of the other things you lose me on, but I definitely agree there's some shenanigans going on. Great talking to you. I'm going to keep watching Infowars.com.
Yeah, I was going to say get the plugs out. I don't know what he wants to plug today. Alex?
My Boneyard show?
I apologize for being on cell phone. Like I said, I only got 2 hours sleep. I'd love to come back.
Alex, you're all right.
Believe me, you're fucking hilarious.
You're a very enjoyable person.
Love it.
What's the Twitter? Real Alex Jones?
Yeah, I was late to the Twitter game, so it's pretty pathetic. Only like 180,000 followers. But I put out some pretty good stuff at Real Alex Jones.
Right.
And Infowars.com, and we have the nightly news, PrisonPlanet.tv.
Okay.
And it's all right there, folks. And look, I'm for real. All I want's the truth. Our liberties in closing are the most valuable thing we've got. Money can be taken. Our lives can be taken. Property can be taken. Our kids can be taken. If you don't have due process, criminal elements, even if good elements are in government now, which they're not, bad ones will fill that vacuum as soon as there's not a check and a balance. It's like a dam.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And when the dam's gone, the flood will happen. So, gentlemen, all of you guys, God bless you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Alex.
Alex Jones. Wow. A lot to digest there. Well,
God damn.
The one thing I want to say about Alex Jones, he's like a piece of steak with a lot of fat. Like, there's good shit in there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But there's so much fat around it that is frustrating to me.
He's a character. It's hilarious.
But he wouldn't say he's a character.
No. He's
maybe
he needs his credibility with his people. I understand what he's doing.
Right.
And there are certain aspects I agree with. Sure. I don't think there's as much sinister stuff going on right now as overtly as he's putting it out to be. I do think there's sinister stuff going on, and I do think the government does enjoy a population that gets in step like cows going to the slaughterhouse, and this setup, this way that the American people are being told that for their safety they have to do this and this and this. If we're willing to just rip our shoes off at the airport, and that is a very dangerous area. You make a good point. You obviously don't want to get on a plane if no one's been checked. But that's the perfect place to not test, but kind of acclimate people to the fact that an authority figure for your safety can tell you, hey, take your fucking shoes off, motherfucker. Why? Because I told you to. Now, it makes sense at the airport, and I understand that, and that's the way we want it. But then maybe down the line, a place that doesn't quite make sense, you have an authority figure, and you're so acclimated to obeying at this point in our lives that we will fucking go for anything.
I do understand that, but I also think that as time has gone on and people have become so much less trusting of the government, because I'm not an idiot. I tremendously
argue that.
No, I mean I tremendously value my privacy. I tremendously value my civil liberties. I look at these things, and if I was getting pulled over and stopped and asked questions, it would annoy me a lot. It would annoy me a lot. But, whenever we hear people talk about, like, well, I was stopped because of my race, sometimes they're bullshitting, and sometimes they're telling the truth, and we look at them and go, shut the fuck up. Like, we already have that, and we don't mind it. Like, when you hear the couple black guys pulled over, and they go, we were just stopped because of our race, driving to a white neighborhood, which does happen.
Yeah.
And they're outraged, and they're justifiable to be outraged. We look at that, and we go, what's the fucking price you pay for other blacks fucking up?
Right.
Well, maybe this is the price you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right, or even what my point is. I don't know. I just think we already have that a lot more than we think. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that we are as compliant as conspiracy theorists think that we are.
Really?
No. Because
I see a very compliant population.
In the airport, though, it makes sense.
Yes.
And I'm comfortable with it there. Because I want other passengers checked.
Where are we not compliant? I see us compliant whenever we're told by an authority figure and a government entity to do something. We fucking do it as a population.
Where is searching? Hold on. Where is searching and stuff? Look what happened in these stop and frisks in certain subways and stuff, which I actually at times agreed with. It was stopped because people were outraged about it. When people are loud enough and people scream hard, believe me, with Twitter and everybody telling you, you have everybody telling you something at once. But they back the fuck off.
But now you're hearing stories of private citizens in their own homes being singled out because of their writings, what they've written online, freedom of speech issues come into play. And then you get an authority figure or entity that comes over to the house to question people. That is an intrusion. Right there is an intrusion. Yet the public doesn't look at that and say, motherfucker, why the hell is the government getting in this guy's business? They look and say shit like, well, he must be up to something. No. We've all been trained to look at everyone as a suspect.
Because I apologize, Rich. I know you're going to say it, but one of the reasons for that, and I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
But again, how do we handle it? What has happened is people who are committing certain crimes and doing certain things are a lot of times writing what they're going to do. And it's almost like if you threaten the president, the Secret Service will always talk to you. It's a rule. So when people are printing manifestos and they're doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden somebody writes something when they do nothing, that person go out and commits a murder, then people are like, why the fuck didn't you do anything? It's almost like they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. And I know that you're saying that
you can't give up your liberties for this veil of safety.
I agree.
Yeah.
But then when we do get hit, we better not fucking cry about it.
You're right.
We better not fucking blame the government and go, why aren't they protecting me? And again, I know that they probably do things, a lot of things they shouldn't do. And they are invasive cunts. But every time that they go to check somebody out, I don't think it's this giant civil liberties violation. Because when things happen, we go, why the fuck didn't you protect us? The first thing we do
just the
is
fact
look
that
to
we
them.
want the government to protect us from random events is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It can't be done. There are certain things in place. We have a military, we have police force, we have things that are in place to protect us to a point. But as a free society, things are going to happen. When you start limiting those freedoms to try to keep bad things from happening, it's the opposite of what the fuck this country is supposed to be.
Yeah, but you're saying with all these inconveniences, the checkpoints, this and that, this would never happen back in the day. On the opposite spectrum, look at all the positive things that the public can do with the internet, with Twitter, with flying helicopters that you have that can spy on people.
Yeah, well, that's going away.
The opposite end, on the opposite end,
but
we're
doing Rich. On the outside, things are always presented to us under this guise of convenience and safety and things like that. We're never told by the government that we are going to do this to infringe on your rights. We're always told that we are doing this for your safety. We're doing this for your convenience. Look how easy it is now. You could do this online. Go to our government website and fill this out. Now, meanwhile, you don't know where the fuck those records go, and then later you find out that they are being used by the IRS or by some other government agency to fuck you in the ass.
And just the opposite, you have ways to fuck them in the ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Ross's point is not a stupid point. The way information is given out and the way we can communicate. Remember how years ago Scientology could fuck with you because they could just wreck your life? And now you can go on. The playing field is a lot more equal than people think it is. It's more equal than it's ever been.
I think we have a perception of that, but as far as the government is concerned, we have no recourse.
But look at them,
for anything they do to us.
But look at how many of them are vulnerable too. It's almost like this blind power. And again, Petraeus was the example. You cannot get more. You cannot get more fucking top secret than that guy. You cannot get more in the loop than that motherfucker. And he got brought down.
Well,
by
I'm sure a conspiracy theorist would say that. They fucking wanted him out, right?
But who has more juice than that guy? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Oprah.
Look at the people of power who are injured by the fact now that these little nobodies, these average little people that we are, have a big voice. How many of these fucking people are brought down by little regular blabbermouths now?
Well, that is true.
Never happened before. So Rich is right in that where the public has a lot more power.
But we also
than
rat
they
each other out. We again, under the guise of convenience, we've become our own big brother as far as ratting each other out,
that was like
posting pictures. No, it was never like that, Rich.
Not even close.
If you went to a neighbor and ratted him out to a government entity or his employer and stuff, it reeked of Nazi Germany. This is an era of information, convenience, photographs, video that we use against each other. Not even vindictively a lot of times. A lot of times it's, wow, that's funny. Look at what this guy did. Let me put it online. And his boss goes, fuck, what an asshole. I don't want him working for me. And now he's fired. It's this weird thing where this convenient thing we have to communicate with each other, to get information, is also turned on us to fuck us over if we need to be fucked over.
But we did it.
I know. Exactly.
We
are the government.
videos.
We the people.
We do
Dude,
it.
I understand that part of it. But there's a power base, too, that can manipulate things. And I don't think people are as clever and as forward-thinking to see that this would have come about. But the fact that it did come about, it's being used. Just like these tragedies. I don't think the government is blowing people up on a fucking marathon route. But they will use the tragedy to their own ends.
To push their agenda
to push
forward.
agendas. Exactly.
With that robot thing, if that's a real thing, that's a lot of money for some kind of, for a company.
Yeah.
And now you can push that agenda through, like, look, obviously, every city needs these robot people, or whatever the fuck Alex Jones was talking about. Hey, two other things really fast. I can't believe I have to read this tweet, but I understand Twitter's full of assholes and idiots. But this guy writes, Opie, no way you should have let Alex Jones shit on that woman like that.
What?
She fucking handled herself
She fucking
beautifully.
destroyed.
So what are you talking about?
She was great.
So
And then it looks awkward if we jump in to protect the woman.
She was great.
She protected herself.
When he was saying, like, yeah, I didn't get much sleep, and I was doing, and then she just goes, wah, wah, wah.
I don't even,
hilarious.
I'm amazed by what people hear out there sometimes. She more than took care of herself. Why jump in the way
of her? She was fucking swinging.
She more than took care of herself.
I love the part where she said she was happily married, but she would do anything to this fucking.
Yeah, Jimmy. She loves Jimmy.
That made Jimmy happy.
Yeah.
She loves Jimmy.
Her right now.
Imagine that, though. Imagine that, Jimmy, just fucking yelling at you. I don't know where the fuck. Why the fuck?
That would make Jimmy very turgid.
Stop.
And
it.
the other thing, before we move on, I asked Sam to make a list. Were you able to make a list? He was talking pretty fast there.
Oh yeah.
You want to go through the list? We enjoy a good list on this program, Rich Voss.
I made a list of lessons from Alex Jones.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just things that I learned that I didn't know.
Did you get the what's you call it, industrial complex in there? The
No, I didn't get that.
yeah, that's a good one.
Fucking cocksucker.
This is what I took.
Do your job.
Yeah.
This is what Sam took
fuck
away
up,
from
shit.
the Alex Jones hour. It was about an hour.
He took
with
notes.
Alex Jones.
He took notes.
There's a 10% chance that the bombing is not staged.
10%.
10% chance that the bombing at the Boston Marathon.
Right.
This is a false.
Not staged by what? The government?
Right. He said it's a 90% chance that the government staged this.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep. This is a false flag, self-inflicted wound by the grandstanding police state.
All right.
God, he has
Self-inflicted
way with
wound.
Obama killed 200 plus people at a wedding. Alex watches the new Hawaii 5-0.
Well, we did learn that.
We did learn that.
The TSA let Shooter Jennings walk through security with weed.
And they gave him his Chiba back.
Yeah.
Cities are buying $15 million worth of robots.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
The Unabomber was in a CIA mind control program.
Mind control.
He was.
An Air Force psychiatrist knew what James Holmes from Aurora was doing, and now they're drugging him to tell the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
The government is planning to implode the economy. Training manuals are coming out warning of veterans attacking. Kim Jong-un hangs out with transsexuals.
We did learn that.
People died in Gardasil tests. They passed it anyway, and it's still killing people.
Oh, yeah.
The polio vaccine has paralyzed many kids. The government is putting out fake conspiracy theories to make Alex's theories seem less credible. Alex has ex-CIA members at his family reunions saying that he's right on the money.
Yeah.
And the Family Guy clip, even though Seth MacFarlane said was not real, was real.
Was real.
Fuck yeah.
That's a little suspicious, though.
What?
Seth's
Where
lying.
did he get that episode from before it aired?
What was that?
It didn't air.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit.
It's not real.
Fuck yeah.
You think it is real, Chip?
Fuck yeah.
And the economy will take another shit sooner than later, too.
Yeah, the government.
I completely believe that.
Oh, yeah.
You mean
Why? I don't know. I don't know
saying
if it's the government's purposely doing it. I don't know,
No.
but it absolutely will take a shit
It's the
again.
ebb and flow of the market. It's been riding high for too long. It's setting records. The only thing that's been keeping it this high this long is that the economy is so shitty. There's nowhere else to put your money. Remember in the early 2000s when we were over at NEW and we were really keeping tabs on the stock market? We'd be like, oh, fuck, they're fucking raising interest rates. It's going to bring the fucking market down, you know, because people can then take their money and put them in interest-bearing accounts and whatnot. Right. And they used to like, all right, what are they going, a quarter? Are they going a quarter or a half today? They haven't talked about interest rates in years because there aren't any.
Yep,
it's down to nothing. That's the only, and there's no real safe, profitable place to put money anymore except the fucking market. And that's not even safe.
That's
but
scary.
At least you have a chance to make some money.
Yeah, but we're all going that direction, which is scary.
But this is my fucking thing I have with people that go, oh, if everything's so bad, how come the Wall Street is setting records in the stock market? Exactly, because the economy sucks, you dumb motherfucker. There's nowhere else to put your goddamn money.
Invest in lemon hats.
Oh, right.
There's these clear hats that you can put lemons in.
Yeah.
And it just makes everybody's day sunny. Take us out.
The lady at my fucking bank is like, why don't you put your money in this and it'll get you to maybe 2%. I go, at
Speech therapy.
The money, I go, the money I have,
2%.
It's not worth, or 3%.
No,
I
I don't even think you get anywhere near 2 or 3%.
I go, it's not worth taking a risk of losing what little I have.
Right. Yeah.
I'll stick with your 0.45% interest.
Isn't that amazing?
God.
How do they get away with that? I look at my bank statement. I'm like, why do I even have money in this bank?
Yeah, I know.
For what reason?
I bought a car the other day. 0.9% interest.
Yeah,
like there's no interest.
It's free money you're getting because they can't charge you interest.
Mortgage rates low too.
Yes,
yeah.
You can get them
refinance.
You can almost get them to 2 3/4.
It's crazy.
2 3/4.
Almost,
like
yeah.
Pekka.
But yeah, the market is doing well because nothing else is.
Right.
There's nowhere else to put your
and that's why it's
fucking money.
scary as shit.
And that's scary because that's the last bastion of fucking like making money with your money.
Right.
The market crash is big. Where are you putting your fucking money?
I don't
You're
know.
better
It's
off
going away. Be Bill Devane and put it in gold. Gold took a giant shit the other day.
yeah.
So let's get in on the gold thing.
Well, I think it went back up, but even gold is showing weakness right now.
I got a bunch of gold.
Your best bet is
Hi,
the
I'm Bill
casino.
Devane. My father told me to invest in gold, and I did. And I've done pretty well for myself. Look, I got a plane and horses and a lot of property. Go fuck yourself.
I got a bag of gold.
Do you?
I got a bag of urine. I'm going to pay myself.
Liquid gold.
You want to take a piss and come back? And
Yeah,
we'll
take
wrap
us
it
out,
up.
you piece of garbage.